Hi, I'm Lauren Hamilton, accountant for therapist. Today I wanted to talk about what are the items that your tax preparer actually needs from you. So we're now in the season of thinking about our tax returns and getting all of those items ready and just needing to know what exactly your tax preparer needs. So I wanted to go over those items with you today and let's jump right in. So the first thing is to start with clean books. And what I mean by that is if you're using an accounting system like QuickBooks or Xero, just making sure that everything is in there for the year. And I talk a lot about this with some of my other videos, but it's just so important that all of the information in there is correct and accurate, because if it's not, then your tax return is not going to be correct and accurate. And that could lead to items that are going to cost you more in taxes, or you could be losing out on some deductions or credits that your tax preparer might be able to recommend to you. Starting with clean books is the number one thing to do. And what do I mean by clean books? Really, all that is just making sure that your bank transactions are coded properly in your accounting system and that they're coded to the correct accounts. I talk a lot about going through at year end and running a general ledger report and just looking through that and making sure that you don't have a meals expense in office supplies, or you've got your software for your EHR program in a travel expense. So again, just making sure that all of the things are in there and in their correct buckets. You also want to make sure that your bank balances are correct. So if your year-end bank balance does not match what you have in QuickBooks or Xero or your accounting system, then that's going to be a problem. And that means that something has either duplicated or is missing, or, there's just something that has created an issue with that account. So you'll want to make sure that that matches, and if it doesn't, figure out why it doesn't. The second thing your tax preparer will want to know is just a complete income picture. So every source of income that you have for your business, whether that's client payments, insurance reimbursements, payouts, or if you have digital products, or if you're doing training sessions or retreats or anything like that, you'll just want to make sure that you have a good list of all of those. You're also going to want to collect any of the 1099s that you have received. So those could be, if you were doing any supervising, or if you were assisting in another practice, anything like that, you will want to have all of those ready for your tax preparer. So after income are your expenses, and I have an entire list of deductible expenses on my website that you can download. It goes over the expenses that are acceptable, the ones that are kind of in a gray area, maybe area, and will just kind of depend on your situation, and then a list of ones that are absolutely not allowed. So if you're interested in that, feel free to go to my resource page on my website and get that to review with what you have in your account. But business expenses, meaning office rent, office supplies, software, licensing fees, websites, marketing, advertising, all of that good stuff. Just again, making sure that all of those are listed out properly and correctly. The other big item with expenses is if you work from home. I work from home. I have an office that's dedicated in my house that I work out of. And so if you have a similar situation and are doing virtual work, then you can deduct some of your home expenses as repairs and maintenance, or your mortgage interest or rent that you might be paying for your home. And so all of that is going to be important for your tax preparer, because they'll take a percentage of those expenses based off of the amount of space that you're using in your home for your office. That can get a little complicated, but once you kind of know the rules around it, it's pretty easy. And year after year, you'll know exactly what it is that you need to keep in check or keep record of for your tax preparer. The other item that your tax preparer will want to see are major purchases or year-end items. So that could be, equipment. So if you needed a new laptop, new furniture, anything like that for your office, those will be items that your tax preparer will want to know about. Same thing for year-end items. If you have loans, they'll want to know the loan balances at the end of the year for those. If you had any vehicle use items, or if you have a vehicle you've purchased in the business, they'll want all of that information. Same with retirement contributions. If you've made any year-end contributions, they'll want to know those amounts. And then same with health insurance, especially for the business owner, they'll want to make sure that they have all of that information as well. So some items that you may think that you need to provide, but really don't, then you don't have to worry about it or, stress out about getting those items together. But you really don't need every single receipt printed and, in a binder or in a shoebox or anything like that. Really, a lot of that's electronic now. And like I said, if you're purchasing an item that is over the $2,500 capitalization limit, that's when a receipt will be needed. And same with travel expenses and things like that. Those can sometimes be an audit risk with the IRS. Just because a lot of people try to take advantage of a lot of those things. So just to kind of summarize, you don't need every single receipt, but just receipts for those bigger purchases. And as far as the reports go, you're really mainly going to be providing a profit and loss statement, a balance sheet, and maybe even your general ledger. And that's really all your tax preparer is going to need. In addition to that, they'll probably want to see like bank statements for the end of the year, those loan statements, anything like that from any type of financial institution. So you don't need to color code anything or, create binders and tabs and organizers and all of that good stuff. The other main thing is not to feel embarrassed about your bookkeeping. So if you feel like maybe you're not the best at it, that's okay. As long as you're putting the time in and making sure that it's as correct as you know it to be, then that's the main thing. Your tax preparer is going to be able to look through some of those items. A lot of people feel like their books are so messy and their tax preparer is just going to be, shocked when they see them. That's simply not true. That's what our job is to help you make those adjustments and to get everything organized. So as long as you're providing us with everything that's needed, then, we can help you from there. So as I'm going through this list, if these items are making you feel overwhelmed or, oh my gosh, I'm just not ready for taxes yet, that's okay. Don't feel overwhelmed. Just take it one step at a time. I'm also here to help with this. I help therapists with this all of the time. And so I'd love to be able to work with you and get yourself organized for your tax preparer. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you found this video helpful, please like and share it with another therapist who might also find it helpful. Until next time, be well.